Make sure, because he want to kill himself. He gonna kill himself. Diddy had that pace, and he had that look in his face that he know something may be wrong. He said every room was bugged, and that he did have tapes and information on a lot of different celebrities and people in the music business.
So, Gene Deal was always one of Diddy's closest confidants. And now he is coming out with shocking new information, confirming that Diddy may actually have ratted out a list of names to the feds.
I don't have the paperwork in front of me, but when they tell you they can't find out the agent, he's a director now here in New York. It's true. He was hit with a Rule 40 for the agent in New York, arrested him and charged him, and they end up throwing it out and sealing the case. That's how I figured that he was working with the FBI.
Over the years, Sean Diddy Combs has built up quite the inner circle, rubbing shoulders with some of the biggest names in the music biz. But recently, things have taken a bit of a turn.
When all those companies start going down, start coming up with federal charges and all kinds of, things that's happened to them. You've seen it with Irv Gotti and them.
Just a couple of weeks back, Homeland Security investigation officers made some pretty big waves by raiding Diddy's pads in LA and Miami, all part of a federal human trafficking probe. Now, all eyes are on his connections. From former flames to those fast friends turned steadfast allies, let's talk about a few of the key players who might just be on Diddy's radar.
And they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
First up is Ashton Kutcher, the That 70s Show actor first bonded with Combs over their shared love of pranking people. During an appearance on Hot Ones in 2019, Kutcher was overwhelmed with his memories and couldn't pick one Diddy party story to share. "Wow, I've got a lot I can't tell. I can't tell that one either," Kutcher said. Actually cycling through them, our relationship is really bizarre because it started over punked, because he's like, "Yo, you can't punk me." I was like, "I don't know what to tell you, everybody's on the table," he said. Diddy apparently said, "Not me, I'm off the table." So that started our conversation, Kutcher said. We became fast friends. We used to hang out and watch football together, Kutcher recalled. He came over and I was like, "I'm going for a run," and he was like, "I'll go for a run with you." So he comes over to go for a run. About halfway through the run, he's like, "Yo, I'm running out of gas right now." But we had like paparazzi all around us at the time. He's like, "You've got to slow down, but make it look like you're not slowing down, because I don't want to look like I'm not going to be able to finish this thing." Kutcher said they finished their run together, but Diddy was so upset by his run that he decided to run the New York Marathon. He started immediately training for the New York Marathon, Kutcher said. He just can't lose. Even when he's that close to humility, that becomes a driver. Diddy helped mentor Usher and brought the then teenage R&B singer to the East Coast to live with him for a year when he broke into the music scene. "I moved to New York City and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year," Usher told Howard Stern in a resurfaced clip from 2016. Stern mentioned, "That was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you to something called Puffy Flavor Camp." "In the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?" Usher said, before Stern quipped, "Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like non-stop, right?" "Nah, not really. It was curious. I got a chance to see some things," Usher said. "Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?" Howard asked. The Atlanta-based musician noted, "I went there to see the lifestyle and I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild. It was crazy." Co-host Robin Quivers chimed in. "So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along." Usher laughed before adding, "I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place and I didn't necessarily understand it." He noted that the parties were filled with industry heavy hitters, including Biggie Smalls was there, Lil' Kim, Craig Mack, Faith Evans, Jodeci, Mary J. Blige. Robin asked if his parents were okay with everything, to which Usher said, "They didn't know nothing about this, I was having a good time." Nick Cannon, the well-known host of The Masked Singer, opened up about his challenges with friendships during an episode of his show, Council Culture. When asked about his thoughts on Diddy, he expressed the complexities of responding to questions about people he's close to. "It was either The Breakfast Club or Angela Yee or something, and they asked me about Puff, and I answered it as honestly as I knew how to answer it," Cannon recounted. "I know these people. They're not just public figures to me, so I have to almost do this dance about when it comes up, because just as much as I know Diddy, I know Cassie." Cannon's reference to Cassie highlighted a serious matter. In November, Cassie filed a lawsuit against Combs, alleging rape and detailing disturbing behavior she claimed to have endured for over a decade. However, the lawsuit was withdrawn the day after it was filed, with Cassie and Combs reaching an amicable resolution. In response to criticism, Cannon defended his stance of offering prayers and support to Cassie, stating, "This is someone who was hurt, who was victimized." Yet he also acknowledged the complexity of the situation, expressing uncertainty about his feelings towards Diddy. He reflected on the support he received during his own difficult times and questioned what obligations he owed in return. Cannon's own journey has seen its share of challenges. In July 2020, he was terminated by Viacom CBS due to allegations of spreading anti-Semitic conspiracy theories and hateful speech on his podcast, Cannon's Class. However, amidst this controversy, Diddy swiftly offered Cannon a job at his Revolt TV company, emphasizing solidarity within the community. "We got your back and love you and what you have done for the culture," Diddy tweeted, highlighting a sense of support and unity. "We are for our people first. For us, by us, let's go." Justin Bieber and Diddy shared some memorable moments captured in a resurfaced video, just as the rapper's homes came under scrutiny in a federal human trafficking investigation. In the video from 14 years ago, Diddy excitedly shares he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. It's evident they were having a blast, with Diddy hinting at the adventures they were embarking on, saying, like, "Where we hanging out and what we're doing, we can't really disclose. But it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream." Diddy humorously adds, "I have been given custody of him," reminiscing about his role in shaping young talent. He recalls his connection with Usher, saying, "You know, he's signed to Usher and I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album." Clarifying his relationship with Bieber, Diddy explains, "I don't have legal guardianship of him, but emphasizes their exciting plans for the next 48 hours, promising to go full crazy." Bieber, ever the teen heartthrob, quips, "Let's go get some girls," prompting an enthusiastic response from Diddy, who remarks, "Man after my heart, that's what I'm talking about." Mariah Carey, known for hits like Emotions, forged a close connection with emerging artist Sean Combs, who had recently launched Bad Boy Records. In her 2020 memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey, she revealed instances of racial microaggressions from her ex-husband, former Sony music president Tommy Mottola. Recalling a moment when Mottola made a derogatory comment about Combs, Carey recounted, "Puffy will be shining my shoes in 2 years. It was one of the very few times I stood up to Tommy, telling him that what he had said was blatantly racist. I was Ed." During a dinner where the head of Epic Records inquired about her opinion on Puffy, Carey didn't hold back. "The table got quiet as I leaned in and gave my honest assessment that Puff and Bad Boy were definitely where modern music was headed," she wrote. Mottola's reaction was dramatic. He stormed away from the table, pacing around the restaurant before returning. Still vibrating with rage, he slammed his fist on the table and announced, "I just want everybody to know that Thanksgiving is canceled." Diddy played a pivotal role in Mary J. Blige's early career, producing her first 2 albums as she emerged as a rising star from Yonkers. At just 18, Blige became the youngest and first female artist signed to Uptown Records, with a boost from Diddy's mentor, Andre Harrell. Reflecting on Diddy's influence, Blige shared with People magazine last year, "Puff was a huge inspiration for me. He wanted all of this for me more than I wanted it myself." In return, Diddy expressed admiration for Blige, stating, "More than being my sister and my best friend, she will forever be a pioneer and the queen of hip-hop soul, who remains an unstoppable force that can accomplish anything she sets her mind to. Blige, whose Hollywood Walk of Fame star was presented by Diddy in 2018, revealed, "I was not as ambitious as Puff. When I met him, I was afraid of success, afraid to do anything that could put so much attention on me. When you come from where I come from, you're scared to be ambitious. You're scared to want more. And then, when I met him, he was the complete opposite. He was such a good thing for me because I needed what he had, to be excited to be seen, to have the lights on him. But it took some years to grow into that." Harry has apparently only been photographed with Combs once, alongside his brother, Prince William, and rapper Kanye West, after the artists played a 2007 concert tribute to Harry and William's late mother, Princess Diana. Representatives for Prince Harry did not immediately respond to HuffPost's request for comment. In 2012, Combs hinted at a friendship with Harry in comments to The Sun, a UK newspaper. The Sun article is no longer available online, but a Daily Beast story from around the same time quotes Combs as saying, "I really can't wait to get to the UK as London is one of my favorite cities. I'm also hoping I'll get to catch up with Prince Harry while I'm there," Combs told The Sun, according to the Beast. "He's such a cool guy, and it's about time we hung out. I need him to take me to some of those wild Mayfair clubs." Interestingly, according to a former investigator, Sean Diddy Combs may find that his wealth won't necessarily buy him out of trouble if the federal sex trafficking probe against him uncovers any crimes. "You can pay off folks in civil lawsuits to make them go away," explained Nicole Parker, a former FBI agent. "But that doesn't work in a sound criminal investigation, especially on a federal level when it comes to sex trafficking allegations." Agents from Homeland Security Investigations recently conducted raids on Combs' mansions in Los Angeles and Miami in connection with what law enforcement sources told Fox News Digital is a sex trafficking probe. "After the Epstein debacle, folks know you won't be able to just make these cases disappear," Parker emphasized. "Furthermore, if the case proceeds to criminal court, there won't be a non-disclosure agreement to shield potentially damaging information." Derek Parker, a former member of the NYPD's rap-related intelligence unit and author of Notorious Cop, predicted that more accusers may come forward to share their experiences with investigators. Some of it may be a money grab because maybe he was disrespectful, but they saw the way that he paid Cassie off, he told Fox News Digital. "Cassie got paid quick, and the reason that she got paid quick is because she knows a lot." These developments come in the wake of a lawsuit filed by music producer Rodney Jones, alleging various misdeeds by Combs, including sexual grooming, involvement in covering up a studio shooting, and alleged boasts about controlling law enforcement, committing murder, and tampering with witnesses and jurors in a high-profile New York City nightclub shooting. Evidence from the civil lawsuits may have contributed to the federal investigation and could prove vital in a potential criminal case. "They'll use a lot of the same evidence to build their case," explained the source. "Anyone is innocent until proven guilty, but the evidence is mounting." In her settled lawsuit, Ventura had also accused Combs of forcing her to carry a gun for him. Jones alleged that the mogul frequently displayed and distributed guns in his presence to maintain dominion and control over others. The nightclub shooting in particular is likely to come back and bite Diddy. About 25 years back, a couple of hours after midnight, 3 NYPD detectives got a call to head over to the Midtown North Precinct. Rap mogul Sean Combs, then known as Puffy, along with his girlfriend Jennifer Lopez, his bodyguard, Anthony Wolf Jones, and rapper Jamal Shine Barrow, had been nabbed after a shooting incident inside a Times Square club that left 3 bystanders wounded. At the precinct, Lopez, then 30, was found in cuffs in the cage, while Combs waited in the station house on West 54th Street, his plans for a grand celebration of the new millennium momentarily on hold. Now, 2 law enforcement sources tell the Post that the infamous shooting and the subsequent trial might be revisited as part of a wide-ranging federal probe into Combs, now 54 and known as Diddy, a figure with a past that includes more than one enigmatic shooting incident. "They got eyes on him in Miami, and the feds are talking to witness after witness," shared New York criminal defense attorney Michael DiCiowaro, who has knowledge of the case. "They're corroborating everything they can, but everything past and present is on the table with Mr. Diddy right now." Rodney Jones, in his lawsuit, alleged Diddy was violent, made threats, and was known for bragging about bribing witnesses and jurors in connection to the 1999 NYC nightclub shooting involving Shine. The incident stemmed from a dispute between Diddy and a Brooklyn thug known as Matthew Allen, nicknamed Scar. Following a 7-week trial in February and March 2001, Diddy, his bodyguard Anthony Jones, and Shine Barrow faced legal proceedings. The trial ended with Diddy and Jones walking free, while Barrow, then 21, was convicted on charges of assault and gun possession, landing him a 10-year prison sentence. To this day, mysteries linger around the club New York shooting, leaving former NYPD detective Derek Parker, once part of the hip-hop cop squad and now a private investigator, still searching for answers. For years, Diddy has been haunted by rumors suggesting that he pushed Shine, now known as Moses Michael Levi Barrow and currently serving as the opposition leader of the House of Representatives in Belize, to take the fall for the incident. The story was that Puff was flossing, which is what they call someone on the streets who's throwing money around and acting like a big shot, explained Parker. Scar felt disrespected because he felt he was as important as Puff, and words were exchanged, and then bullets started flying. Shots rang out, prompting Lopez and Diddy to swiftly exit the club in a Lincoln Navigator. Diddy's driver, Wardell Fenderson, later recounted speeding past several red lights as they raced down 43rd Street and onto 8th Avenue, narrowly avoiding 2 police cars. Shine busted off in the air," Fenderson recalled Lopez saying, just before they were pulled over by the police. Parker told the Post how in the precinct, her mother was yelling at J-Lo in Spanish and she was really mad at Jennifer. "I heard her say, 'I told you not to get involved with him.'" Following 14 hours in jail, Lopez was released from custody without being charged. Natanya Rubin, one of the 3 victims in the club shooting, has persistently claimed that Combs shot her in the face. "I literally watched them pull out the guns. I had a clear point of view. I mean, for God's sake, I got shot in my nose," Rubin asserted during an appearance on News Nation's Elizabeth Vargas Reports Thursday. "I watched everything occur and have described it vehemently to all parties involved. I have 9 bullet fragments remaining in my face." In his lawsuit, Jones makes serious claims against Diddy, asserting that the rap mogul openly boasted about orchestrating the nightclub shooting and manipulating the legal system through bribery. Mr. Combs shared that he was responsible for the shooting in the nightclub in New York, Jones alleged. Furthermore, Jones alleges that Diddy bragged about enlisting Jennifer Lopez, his girlfriend at the time, to smuggle the gun into the club. He shared that artist, and Mr. Combs' girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, a.k.a. J-Lo, carried the gun into the club for him and passed him the gun after he got into an altercation with another individual, Jones alleges. Diddy, via his attorneys, has vehemently denied these allegations. His legal team has characterized the federal raids as a witch hunt and criticized the excessive force used during the operations. Diddy has found support from Glenn Beck, who was working security at the club the night of the shooting, and is now an expert in martial arts working with Deadly Art of Survival magazine. Beck testified during the 2001 trial, but feels that the prosecution was overly focused on incriminating Diddy and therefore neglected to question him about Barrow, aka Shine. He dismissed Jones's claims as unfounded and stated, "We knew Scar. We knew Shine. He was a wild kid from Brooklyn." Beck recounted how the altercation between Diddy and Scar escalated just before the shooting, noting that Shine ran out of the club and returned shortly afterward without being searched. "That's when the shooting began," Beck recounted. "Then right after we heard shots ring out, Shine ran out the side door of the club that was attached to a hotel. He came flying out the doors and was immediately arrested by 2 cops who were outside and had heard the shots inside." While Barrow admitted during the trial to firing a gun during the incident, he has not accused Diddy of coercing him into taking the blame. Beck also challenged the notion that Lopez could have been involved in smuggling a gun into the club, stating, "I remember how well she was dressed that night, and she's very slim. She's not going to be hiding a gun in that outfit." However, the 1999 shooting isn't the only incident under scrutiny. Jones alleges that Diddy lied about his and his son Justin Combs' involvement in a 2022 shooting at the Chalice recording studio in Los Angeles. According to Jones, the altercation unfolded during a recording session at the studio, resulting in shots being fired in a restroom. Photos included in Jones's lawsuit purportedly depict the aftermath of the shooting. Jones contends that Diddy instructed him to mislead the police about the circumstances of the shooting, and also accuses Diddy's head of security, Fahim Mohammed, of wielding undue influence in the LAPD. One of the most captivating elements of this whole situation is the conspicuous silence from Diddy's high-profile buddies. Gene Deal has his theories on why they're keeping mum, hinting that they might be worried about damaging their own reputations. He even draws a comparison to Vince McMahon's experience with the WWE, suggesting that Diddy could end up being the fall guy for a much larger scandal. And about his famous pals staying silent? They either know the truth or scared to mess up their brand. Look at what happened to Vince McMahon. They're painting Puff as the face of this mess, just like they did with Vince in the WWF. But perhaps the most spine-tingling revelation from Jean Day is the talk of tapes allegedly recorded in Diddy's homes. Lil Rod's claims that every room was bugged sent shockwaves rippling through the industry. Jean Day hinted at the possibility that these tapes might contain damning evidence, not only against celebrities, but also against politicians and religious figures. As for tapes, if Lil Rod ain't lying and those rooms were bugged, oh yeah, they got 'em. Celebs, politicians, even preachers were in those parties. It's wild, man. But if those tapes exist, it's only a matter of time before they surface. Shook? You bet they are. Me, personally, if Lil Rod's telling the truth, tapes are out there, no doubt. Following the recent searches conducted by federal agents at the artist's residences in Florida and Los Angeles, his attorney expressed strong objections to what he termed a premature rush to judgment of Mr. Combs. He asserted that the investigation amounted to nothing more than a witch hunt based on meritless accusations made in civil lawsuits. Despite these assertions, insight from past high-profile sex trafficking cases could shed light on how federal authorities typically construct such cases and offer hints about the elements required to bring charges. The playbook for these types of cases is R. Kelly, Jeffrey Epstein, Larry Ray, and NXIVM's founder Keith Raniere, remarked Elizabeth Geddes, known for her extensive involvement in the conviction of R. Kelly, delivering a 6-hour closing argument. In November, Combs' former girlfriend Cassandra Ventura, also known as Cassie, filed a lawsuit accusing him of rape, leading to a swift settlement within a day. Subsequently, 3 more women have brought lawsuits against Combs alleging rape, sex trafficking, assault, and other forms of abuse, including one involving a minor. Additionally, a male producer has sued him over claims of unwanted sexual contact. While Geddes is not directly involved in the Combs case, she suggests that Ventura's lawsuit might have triggered the federal investigation. The investigation into Combs, led by Homeland Security, has been ongoing for several months, with numerous individuals associated with the case, including accusers and alleged witnesses, already interviewed. According to Elizabeth Geddes, who played a key role in R. Kelly's conviction, Homeland Security investigations, which also worked on the Kelly case, typically boasts agents with extensive experience in dealing with sex trafficking victims. Geddes outlined the criteria for sex trafficking, stating that it involves force, fraud, or coercion to cause a person to engage in a commercial sex act, or the trafficking of minors under 18. There is no statute of limitations, Geddes emphasized, pointing out that the key law enacted in the 2000s applies to acts from 2001 onward. Reflecting on the similarities between the Combs and Kelly cases, Geddes noted the importance of the documentary series about Kelly in re-engaging authorities. Such high-profile investigations often necessitate an external catalyst, she explained. Nothing puts pressure on law enforcement like a front-page story on the major newspaper in the city, Geddes remarked. Geddes further elaborated on the legal aspects, noting that in addition to sex charges, she and her team secured a racketeering indictment against Kelly. Racketeering, historically used against mob bosses, involves demonstrating a broader pattern of illegal conduct over an extended period. Racketeering became a federal crime in 1970 under the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, or RICO, and its application has expanded over the years to include cases against various criminal enterprises, including street gangs and sex traffickers like Rainier and Larry Ray. It's still a bit murky what exactly the feds have on Combs and whether it's enough to push forward with charges. There's not much to go on at the moment, besides reports that investigators walked away from his properties with electronics, data devices, and assorted records. Legal experts are weighing in, highlighting the challenge of proving sex trafficking cases. Dmitry Gorin, a defense attorney in LA, explained that proving such charges typically demands substantial evidence. Sex trafficking for adults usually involves some sort of coercion or other restraints, Gorin noted. Prosecutors would need to demonstrate that someone encouraged somebody to engage in sexual activity for money or some other inducement. In response to the raids, one of Combs' lawyers, Aaron Dyer, emphasized in a statement that there has been no finding of criminal or civil liability with any of these allegations. Misa Hilton, the mother of Combs' son, Justin Dior Combs, also spoke out against the investigation and the manner of the raids. She criticized the overzealous and overtly militarized force used against her sons, highlighting a video showing federal agents in military gear aiming a gun at them. Hilton condemned the treatment, stating, "If these were the sons of a non-black celebrity, they would not have been handled with the same aggression. The attempt to humiliate and terrorize these innocent young black men is despicable." Federal sex trafficking and sexual assault laws come with the allowance for prosecutors to showcase a pattern of behavior. In the R. Kelly trial, several women testified about what Kelly did to them as part of a pattern of behavior. It is very much the same thing people saw in Harvey Weinstein's prosecution, Geddes said. Should charges be brought against Combs, they could also potentially allege the use of forced labor under threat, according to Geddes. Ventura, Combs' former girlfriend, alleged she was coerced into sex acts with other men and faced physical harm for speaking up. If these allegations hold true, it could be considered forced labor, Geddes explained. Kelly's conviction included 8 counts of the Mann Act, a law dating back to 1910, initially aimed at combating human trafficking. It now encompasses transporting individuals across state lines with the intent of engaging them in prostitution or any criminal sexual activity. In the accusations against Combs, one woman claimed she was brought from Detroit as a 17-year-old to Combs' studios for him and his associates to assault her, Geddes noted. Before the high-profile searches of Combs' properties, prosecutors and HSI agents would have needed to make significant progress in their investigations. What we can say at this stage is there was enough probable cause to convince a magistrate to issue a search warrant, she said. Before getting such a warrant, agents have typically interviewed multiple witnesses. These types of searches aim to corroborate evidence since individuals in the spotlight often collaborate to commit such crimes. In Kelly's case, Geddes recalled that his storage facility proved to be crucial. Housing message slips, handwritten notations, emails, and lots of videos related to his offenses. "We had so much evidence presented in Kelly, it was hard to fit it all into the closing," Geddes recounted. He used his money and public persona to hide his crimes in plain sight, she emphasized to jurors during the trial. "So what happens to Diddy now? Let me know in the comments."